Good morning. What is going on, everybody? Good to see you. Happy Friday for those of you that celebrate Friday. What's going on, hobbyist miner? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, we're gonna open the package tomorrow, this afternoon, by the way, just so you know. That's I don't know if you got that last night when you were live. All right. So, anyways, yes, I'm gonna pick that up this morning, and myself and the wife around 2 p.m. are going to be streaming, and I'll open that package for you. Hopefully, there's no pack of peanuts. I will cry. Crypto 440, what's up, buddy? And I'm dropping off your package this morning. I actually didn't have a chance to go drop it off last night, or yesterday rather. Steven Cicero, what's up, man? Old man Crypto, Black Cat Crypto, what's up, dude? Carl Coat, old man, I already said that. Let's see, Patrick Guyan, Leo Lustig, Automatic Beats, Nerd Beast, who else? Yeti, my man, good to see you. Alexander, and everybody else that I may have missed, good to see you. All right, so for anybody that missed yesterday's announcement that I put out about Pepe coin or Pepe Pow, whatever the hell it is, there was no virus found in the third version of that wallet. So hopefully everything's good. Still, we recommend being safe, but go check out the community post. All right, without further ado, let's get into this. I don't have too long to be live today. I apologize for going a bit behind schedule. BTC 26.4. Man, it's just dropping by the second. I'm hoping it's going to come back. We'll see if we'll get a bounce or not. Ethereum 1800, XRP 46 cents. We have Dogecoin 7 cents, LTC $86. Interesting crypto bubbles. Let's see on the day. Wow, this was like this is Pulsar, right? This was down yesterday, like 20%, and now it's up 12. Interesting. Everything looks pretty decent though. Nothing's like drastically dropped. Renders down 0.9%, which is nothing. The actual Pepe coin is down 0.9%. Not too bad. You guys want to see that? Blow it up a bit. All right, let's see. Fear and Greed Index, just to not blind everybody. 49 on that chart. That is neutral. Not too bad. Top 10 coins. Let's see. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coin, XRP, Cardano, Lido Staked Ether, Dogecoin, and Polygon in 10th. Pretty much the same as it's been for the past week or so, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so today's video, CoinDesk had a 14 hours ago dropped a video about Ledger CEO addressing the key recovery rollout delay. So they have like a sit down talk with him, and I just want to see what he has to say about it because I haven't had a chance to listen to it myself. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat, and we'll pause and talk about it during it. So without further ado, let's get into this because I'm interested to see what it says.
This week in the news, we've been hearing all about Ledger and a new product. So Ledger has pledged to more open source code and to delay the launch of their new product, Ledger Recovery, after criticism from the crypto community. Off the heels of a Twitter AMA yesterday, Pascal Gauthier, Ledger CEO and chairman, joins us now. Welcome, Pascal.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So a lot going on for you and your company in the last week. We have the announcement of this news product. We have a ton of criticism online from the crypto community. And now we have your response. You've delayed the launch of the product. You've committed to a few different things that we'll get into in the segment. But tell me, what's been most surprising to you amongst all of this?
Look, I don't know if we can say that it was surprising. I think Ledger has a history of launching new features. You know, it started with the Nano X and Bluetooth. Well, actually, before that, it started with the launch of Ethereum. It was suddenly, we're not a Bitcoin-only wallet, and we were Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins. And then after that, it was the launch of the Bluetooth feature. And every time that we try to innovate, you know, there is always a strong reaction from the community, which is very well understood and is very good because this is how we make progress. So we always take the feedback, we incorporate them in our roadmap, which is what we've done with Ledger Recover. But we have a history of this, and so it's just the way that crypto evolves. You know, our customers are very loyal and very vocal on Twitter and Reddit, and it has always been like this. You know, I've been in his business since 2014, and I've seen this happen again and over again.
So were you expecting this reaction then? You know, a lot of people are saying maybe there was a communications gap here. You say you're not surprised. Were you expecting this?
No, I mean, so two things happen. A, we discussed Ledger Recover and Seed Recovery at length before launching the product. Ian Rogers, myself. If you look at past interviews, we've discussed the product very openly, and we were actually quite surprised that nobody was picking up on it or commenting. And also on the other side, we had a lot of customers that were actually asking for it and waiting for it. So that was a thing. Wired actually a few weeks ago wrote an article about Recover, even giving the price of the service. So the news was already out there. It's just that no one had picked up on it. What happened though is by mistake, we released a new operating system, and in the note of the operating system that we released, because we always work in transparency, there was a description of the new service. And so that's what sort of triggered the emotion, the reaction, and the surprise of our community, and sort of rightfully so. This is typically a product where, our intention was to promote it in the right way before sort of launching it, and there was a communication mistake that was done. But again, we were surprised because it is not if, as we had kept this product as a secret, and so just nobody picked up on it, and not surprised because, again, this is usually how the community reacts. And I think, if you look at the results, I think, with the community, we did a great job and we adjusted a few things. And I think going forward, and after the MAA yesterday, the reactions were actually very positive. And some people that, hated the idea and the product to start sort of understood what we're trying to achieve and changed their opinion. So I think going forward, this is a much needed product for the community.
So what did the crypto community get wrong, if that's the case? Because you said that this has happened a few times where you've launched a new feature, a new product, and you get some sort of backlash. You say that there's a communication problem on your end. What do you think is the problem on the general consumer, the general market's end?
It's not so much what they get wrong. I think we underestimate how complex this space is and how fragile trust is. And so a lot of people that use our products, think that the product works one way, but actually, the product has sort of always worked in a different way. And so there were many misconceptions about like what a hardware, what it is, how it's supposed to work, how does it protect secrets, how does it, the private key that is inside the wallet, how's it being used and encrypted, etc. So it's not that people get it wrong, it's just that it's very, very, very complicated. If you listen to the AMA that is available on Twitter, you have like, in-depth explanation by Charles, our CTO, or by Nicolas, our founder and chief innovation officer, on how our hardware wallet works. But these are very, very complex, security schemes, and so it's very normal that people are, sort of puzzled what's happening. And so there is a huge need for education in the space, always, and on security matters that are extremely complex, because what crypto is doing is, crypto is a sort of trail.
Yeah, I'm going to pause right there real quick. So this guy, I mean, whatever, he's the CEO of Ledger. He's just on talking about the delay, right? Why they delayed it, more or less. I'm sure that's what they're getting to at some point. But I listened to that whole Twitter thing, and those guys, again, failed to see the big picture that everybody was concerned with, and they just kept beating around the bush and kind of explaining it in a weird way. But I'll, actually a couple of videos ago, I left it in the description. I could probably throw it in this one too once this is done, if you guys want to listen to it. It's like an hour long, but they just kind of beat around the bush. Everybody that called and asked questions, it was just, I don't know, it was just back and forth bullshit, to be honest. It wasn't really anything special, so I don't know what he heard that I didn't in that. It's kind of weird.
Trailblazer of security going forward. This has never happened. Like, the product that is a hardware wallet is something that was never built in the past. This is the first time that you have a security product that is a consumer product. Think about a security company that is a consumer company. There aren't many in the past. And so we're doing something very new, and it's very normal that people have questions, and we try to answer their questions.
But what's not normal is the fact that they won't tell us who the third company is. That was going to hold a piece of this sharded seed phrase. I mean, unless I'm wrong and they've came out and said it. Anybody knows, let me know in the chat, but that has yet to been said.
So with that said, I mean, have you done any sort of shakeup internally when it comes to communication? Are you investing more in communications and hiring people and in how you say what your product does? I mean, have you had a stern talk with your marketing team? What exactly have you done internally to prevent this sort of thing from happening again?
Well, so first of all, I think, and you might agree that in terms of communication, Ledger in the past 2 years has been pretty good in the sense that both in terms of the Ledger brand and also Ledger content around education have been like two big forces in the crypto industry. So I think in terms of communication, we have a very good and strong communication team. Here, the mistake was to release a technical note regarding the operating system before we had actually released clear communication about the product. So it was just it's not a comms mistake. It's a technical mistake in terms of publishing something first that should have never been published before we had actually released the right communication content. When we'll go to market with the Ledger Recover product, you will see the communication material that we have for this, and then you will be able to judge the quality of Ledger communication. So mistakes are mistakes, and we're not denying it. So I started my CEO letter yesterday and the AMA by sort of apologizing for the mistake in publishing this operating system notes before we could actually explain what the product was. And so taking our customers by surprise is not the style of Ledger, but this is really the thing that happened.
If I understand correctly, Ledger has now delayed the launch of the key recovery service in open source it. Is that a correct assessment of the situation?
Correct.
Okay, so I guess the question there would be, why not open source it from the beginning? If this is something that is kind of a reply to some of the sort of the community uproar, like why was this just not done originally?
There are a lot of the part of the Ledger code that is already open source. There are some parts that are closed, and so far we've always worked with our customers and our community with a certain level of trust. There is, in everything that you do in life, there is a certain level of trust that you need to have.
Real quick. Oh, she's blowing it up. All right. It says open source roadmap, already open source, SDK, 150 applications, cryptography library, which is a part of the OS. In the coming days, white paper of the Recover protocol, educational technical blog post to explain the principles of Recover, blog post explaining the security review process and controls. In the coming weeks, tools, sorry, I just heard something fall above my head on the floor. Tools to implement your own shard backup provider, open sourcing of the dashboard, which is a specific part of the OS containing Recover implementation. In the coming months, modularize even more the OS in order to keep as little as possible that part that must be trusted.
You trust that Bitcoin works because other people have done the work at looking at the code, but you haven't looked at the code yourself. And not everyone is able to look at Bitcoin code to see if it works. And so if you trust in Bitcoin, it's not necessarily that you've done the work yourself, but you trust other people to have done the job. And so in the end, trust is something that is sort of enforced over time because Bitcoin has been operating since 2008. It is actually the best system to exchange value online peer-to-peer, and you trust in Bitcoin because you trust that it's been up and running for so long without any major bugs. And so similar, you have certain level of trust that you need to give to any product that you're going to use in the market, any hardware wallet, Coinbase, anything. And so we took the product to market the same way that we took other products to market before, based on the trust that our customers have for us. The backslash was actually, we might not trust you as much on this one. And so, understanding that we need to do a better job at explaining what a hardware wallet is, what it does, but specifically on that product, there is a higher need for transparency. And so when our customers give us feedback, we take the feedback, we listen, and the need for transparency in this product is much higher than for other products, and this is why we're open sourcing it.
Real quick, I just want to see or read a couple things in the chat. So 3foxco said, I feel that it was not the intention of Ledger to reveal people's identities and steal their crypto. I just think it is something that was not well thought through. Yeah, I agree, actually. I mean, yeah, obviously they didn't have, well, I can't really say they didn't have malicious intent. It's just, I really don't think they did. I think it was just a stupid move on their part to give something up, as I guess precious as this, right? Like your seed phrase. Crypto440 said the holder of the shards are irrelevant. All someone needs is to access the KYC holder to get the access to the crypto key. Yeah. So that's exactly what I was saying the other day. So if somebody hacks my life and they call these companies to get the the shards back or whatever, pretending they're me. Well, what do you need? A selfie and an ID? That's literally all it says. You just need an ID, a government issued ID, which is either a passport or a driver's license, a real ID in the US, right? I mean, if somebody has a picture of that, what do they got to do? Just take a picture of a selfie? Like they could snapshot me just sitting here talking to you guys and send it in and get it. It's I don't know, very gray area, but weird at the same time.
I think that some might say, they trust in Bitcoin because there's no one single point of failure, and Ledger might be a little bit different as it is a centralized company. On that AMA yesterday, people were bringing up KYC concerns, data leak concerns. How can your customers continue to trust you? And I ask this question just on the back of what the industry has experienced over the last, 6 months. There have been, centralized players who have really eroded the trust of the industry. What do you say to these people who are saying, why should we trust Ledger with our data?
He's taking it all off. He's like, shit, I shouldn't have wore my, 12 rings, my Rolex to this interview.
So first of all, I didn't draw a parallel between sort of Bitcoin and Ledger. The only thing that I said is, whatever you do in life, you need to have a minimum trust because nothing is absolutely trustless in the sense that you can't verify everything yourself. You can't build everything yourself. So you trust that other people have done the job for you. You're right to say that, the Bitcoin protocol and Ledger are not the same because they're not built the same. And even though Ledger is your key to enter your world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it is a centralized company. It is a company with a CEO, etc. So very, very different for Bitcoin. I think what we tried to say yesterday is we're gonna try to be as trustless as possible, and we're gonna try when we say two things. A, we're going to open source recover, but also we're gonna open source the maximum of our roadmap going forward, so people can verify as much as possible. And so the piece that they have to trust has to be minimized. Now, I think to be absolutely trustless in the world of consumer electronic is impossible. So there is a minimum trust that you need to have in a company like Ledger. But also, we said other things yesterday in the sense that. If you understand the way that a company like Ledger works, you understand that the people that are working on the firmware, so what you put in the device, are actually, of course, working in my team, but not reporting directly to me. So in a security company, you have a segregation of duties between the CEO, who is the administrator and executes, but you have some security teams at Ledger that don't have to take orders from me. So I cannot actually force anyone, the team that is working on the firmware, me as CEO, I cannot force them to execute anything. So there are,
so he just admitted to not being able to control, the whole team. So with that being said, like, what happens if you hire somebody that's like, a traitor, or is kind of like, malicious and wants to put a line of code in there stating that it'll just take your seed phrase? Like, that's kind of, you know what I mean? That's kind of concerning that he even just said that, actually, to be honest.
Countermeasures inside a security company, so a CEO cannot go rogue and do whatever he wants. And so therefore, for a company to go rogue, you would have to have all of its employees to become malicious employees to actually do something wrong in the firmware. So,
all right, so you kind of cleaned it up right there. I should have just continued listening instead of talking.
This scenario starts to be extremely, extremely unlikely. there is always a minimum of trust that you need to have in any hardware wallet that you're going to use, let alone Ledger, anything else that you're going to use in the market, you need to have a minimum of trust. And we're trying to make the part of the operating system as the one that you have to trust as small as possible and open everything else.
Interesting. Well, shout out to CoinDesk. That's pretty much it. I think they're just going to say thank you for being on and all that nonsense. But I don't know. That's kind of neat, kind of crazy. At least I feel like the CEO, I don't know what his name is, I forget, but I think at least he has a better idea of what is actually going on. Like, he should have been on that Twitter talk, not these other boobs that were on there, because they weren't really getting the point across properly, I don't think. I mean, again, there is a certain level of trust you need to have when it comes to, anybody storing your crypto, like with, either exchange wallet or any type of hardware wallet. It's at the end of the day, it's software. We just never thought about it being, able to spit out your seed phrase to the internet. So yeah, that's that. All right. Yesterday, actually, we talked about Tornado Cash a little bit. I honestly forget why. But Tornado Cash, if you guys don't know, it's like a mixer for crypto, kind of. So it more or less, it's kind of like a wash tool, right? Like you put your crypto in and kind of washes it through like a whole bunch of things, then it comes back, so it's kind of clean. I don't know if it's used for money laundering or what the hell it's used for. I've never personally used it, but he's going through some shit, this guy, so I thought it was quite interesting. I kind of want to hear this out as well, so let's see what they have to say about this whole Tornado Cash thing. Yeah, I guess the developer's facing Dutch charges. Let's see what he has to say.
It's the time to check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of perhaps the world's most important newsletter, CoinDesk State of Crypto. Hey, Nick. Happy hump day.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? Tornado Cash. It seems like there's kind of a tornado whirlwind going on right now because developer Alexei Pertsev is back doing some updates. What's going on with the Dutch courts there, where they're having a little bit of a legal issue?
Yeah, so this is via our colleague Jack Schickler this morning, who reported that Alexei Pertsev has been given permission to question Chainalysis, which apparently has provided some evidence for prosecutors in the Netherlands. Quick background for those of our audience who may not be familiar. Alexei Pertsev is the Tornado Cash developer who was arrested last year shortly after the U.S. sanctioned Tornado Cash. He was arrested, and initially he wasn't charged with anything, just kind of held in detention, but later he was charged with money laundering allegations. So he's now fighting back against these allegations. One of the big questions is the charge simply because of his work writing code for Tornado Cash, or is there more to it? But it seems he'll now have a chance to try and figure out what exactly evidence is supporting these allegations.
So, and that's why he wants Chainalysis. He wants the what Chainalysis information is on that. Correct? I mean, like, what's he hoping?
Right.
What hint does he have that there's anything that might help his case?
According to Jack's reporting, part of it might just be that he wants to know what transactions Chainalysis has alleged are is evidence of him conducting illicit money laundering activities. So it could be trying to verify the addresses of the wallets that are involved, or trying to figure out how they tied the wallets to him, something like that. But either way, we'll have a better answer of this, or better answer to this rather, in a couple of months. It seems like the next hearing has been set for June.
I want to zoom out just a bit. This case has really highlighted a few things for the industry, and some are protesting, saying that, this is an attack on technology. It's an attack on open source code. Talk to us a little bit about what happens next in the legal process and what this means for an industry that's built on open source code and that really prides themselves on privacy.
Yeah, so taking the second part first, right? If he has indeed been arrested simply for writing code for Tornado Cash, and he's being accused of money laundering because people use Tornado Cash for that purpose.
That's a good point. So Pirate just said in the chat, actually, he said this is like sending a hammer engineer to prison because someone used it for illegal activities. I agree. Actually, I really do.
That's probably not a good sign for the industry at large, especially in countries where that is something that can happen. One of the big contrasts with the U.S. when the Netherlands arrested Pertsev is, in the U.S. you can't you can't just be arrested and charged without being indicted on specific charges or specific counts for months at a time. So that was a big concern early on, and again, just for writing the open source code, I think is a pretty big flare, warning flare for people who are trying to figure out, okay, should we contribute to other DAOs? Do we want to work on anonymity or privacy transactions? Do we want to work on this kind of issue at all? So, to answer your second part of your question, definitely there are some concerns there. If he has indeed been charged with something more specific, if he was actively involved or is allegedly actively involved in directly, laundering money and funds, that's a different story. But based on the information we have right now, all we know is that he was a developer and he was charged with money laundering. So, doesn't lead to a positive conclusion for the industry. As far as the next steps in the legal process, we do know there's a hearing coming up again in a couple months in the summer. So, this has been a long case already. This began last summer, so almost a year now, and we're still, again, not really any closer to figuring out what exactly he has been accused of doing. We don't know if, like I just said, if he's been charged with actively, specifically laundering funds on his own, or if it's just because of the code he wrote, or if there's something more to it. Hopefully we get an answer to that. As the trial begins in earnest, right now we're still kind of just going through status hearings and update hearings that are looking at things like bond and the evidentiary record. But hopefully we'll get a better picture of what evidence the Dutch prosecutors are using and what that might imply for his case within the next couple of hearings.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. We should note that Chainalysis did not immediately respond to CoinDesk for a request for comment on this story.
Well, huge shout out to CoinDesk for that article. All right, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we can talk about this morning. Let's see. Over here. So if anybody missed the whole Ledger thing, please feel free to rewind and listen to that, or go to CoinDesk and subscribe to them. I do have a link to the video down in the description below. Over here, so this is kind of interesting. Cointelegraph, it says no ETH to trade. Ethereum exchange balance drops to a 5-year low. The ETH balance decline began September 2022, dropping significantly in November and December after the downfall of FTX. Let's see. Submitted my question for this afternoon to Joker Miner. Perfect. Yeah, so apparently my wife is going to be interviewing me somehow. I don't know what's going to happen, but she's not showing me the questions, so whatever. She wants questions from the VIPs. If you guys haven't put any questions in that VIP chat, go check it out and answer her. She would greatly appreciate it. All right, the balance of Ether across the crypto exchanges dropped to a 5-year low on May 26th, bringing the total amount of Ether held on exchanges to 17.86 million, a drastic decline in the exchange supply of ETH like this has not been since April 2018. According to Glassnode data, only 14.85% of the total Ethereum supply is currently held on centralized exchanges compared with the 25 to 26% of the supply held during the 2021 bull run. Exchange balance. So price, exchange balance. Gotcha. Let's see. The drop in ETH supply began in September 2022, dropping significantly after the FTX crisis in November. Apart from a decline in the exchange balance, Ethereum wallet addresses holding more than 100 ETH have also declined to a 6-month low. That's kind of concerning. Two significant events could have influenced the decline in ETH balances on centralized exchanges in the recent past. The first is the collapse of the FTX crypto exchange, prompting many to move their crypto assets from exchange wallets to self-custody wallets. The second and most important is the Shapella upgrade. Shapella made way for thousands of validators to withdraw their staked ETH. However, contrary to popular belief, a minority of validators decided to unstake while the majority only withdrew their staking rewards. And I thought that was mostly the case, to be honest. They just withdrew their staking rewards. The movement of assets away from exchanges is considered a bullish sign, indicating traders are not looking to sell at the current price. That's exactly what I would have thought right there, that sentence. In Ethereum's case, restaking ETH is the most apparent reason for the declining exchange supply. I mean, that honestly, that's bullish for Ethereum. That entire little paragraph right there is bullish, at least in my opinion. Major crypto exchanges like Binance, Bitfinex, Kraken, and others that supported the Shapella upgrade saw a significant outflow of ETH from the exchanges, from their exchange wallets, leading to the current balance decline. All right, so 62.8% Kraken. Damn. Holy shit, Kraken had that much ETH in it? Well, considering. Oh, that's the withdrawals. Entities withdrawing ETH. Interesting. Neat. Okay. As Cointelegraph reported earlier, in the week after the Shapella upgrade, the amount of Ethereum being staked surpassed the amount of ETH being withdrawn. Another report from Glassnode estimates that less than 1% of the staked ETH was expected to be sold. Thus, a significant chunk of ETH moving away from centralized exchanges returned to staking. I mean, that's really good. That's what they want, right? At the end of the day, that is absolutely what Ethereum wants. They want people to stake. Dude, what is up with this crackhead rabbit? What is happening? I'm not going to watch that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. All right, what do you guys think about that, I guess? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think about that? Sorry, I'm exhausted this morning, and I have to get to daddy duty and go to the post office with the kids, so this is going to be very exciting day for myself. But yeah, again, this afternoon, myself and the wife are going to be live. She's going to be interviewing me somehow, some way. I don't know what's going to happen, but either way, we usually do a podcast on Fridays. And yes, I will open Mr. Hobbyist Miner's package when I retrieve it on that stream. So let's see, y'all buying KS3s, 0 chance. Nismo Miner, 0 chance. What is it going for? Is it even posted yet again? I know it was going for friggin' 100K, and then the price just continues to drop apparently, but I don't know if it's even listed on Bitmain website. Let's see. KS3 coming, announcing time May 19th. Okay. Wait, price guessing time May 16th, 10 a.m. You can win a $10,000 coupon. Oh, that's stupid. Oh wait, no, it worked. Oh shit. All right, so 49.8. This is the first time I saw this. Nice. $49,800. Flash sale deposit unit. Huh. I still feel like this is gonna, like, I just think it's gonna wreak havoc on the network when these all get delivered. There's gonna be so many people that buy this, and then when you get it, it's gonna be like the KA3 profitability, say like $80 a day on the, whatever it was on the KA3. I'm just guessing. $80 a day on the KA3 drops down to like 40, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, pennies. Let me see. Mine the ASIC. Let's go to mine the ASIC. Let's see real quick. KA3. It's literally right here. Never mind. Let's see. $4 a day. This thing's profiting $4 a day now. And this was like, it was like $80 at one point, if I'm not mistaken. And then like $40 when they really started getting delivered pretty good. If I'm not mistaken. I could be. It's a missed pocket change. It's in my car. I'll go. Don't worry about it. Mineable coins. Yeah. KDA. XV. What the hell is XVG? I don't even know. But this is, we're just going to have a repeat of this, right? That's at 10 cents. Let's go to, dude, my electric rate. It's not profitable. Anything above 16 cents, this KA3 is not even profitable. So, I mean, just my opinion. Do you guys think this is going to happen to the KS3? I would assume the same bullshit's going to happen. Like, unless Caspa can just pick up in price somehow, I don't think this thing's going to be worth the money. At least it's my opinion. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think over in the live chat. Let's see. Nudge your husband. Read my messages. What do you want? Do you want to do an interview with BZ Miner? I put an emoji on the thing. I saw it. Yeah. I don't care. That's fine. That works for me, man. I don't know if I actually saw if you sent a DM, Mr. Yeti, like an actual message other than the picture. I saw the picture though. I zoomed in on it on the DM with you and them. Let's see. What if a malicious employee abuses the recovery feature? Exactly, is a pirate. Yeah, that's kind of the point. The whole Ledger thing, right? That's my concern. The biggest concern, anyways. All right, guys. I have to get the daddy duty. Overall, I mean, right now the market's green. Still low, but green, so I can't complain, right? 0.35%. As you guys can see, it was red, then turned gray, and now it's green. So I guess we will have to see how things go. Old Man Crypto, dude, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Wanted to start CCXT's KS3 fund. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I think it's gonna read it, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sell, sell, sell. Yeah, dude, I would sell every day if I mined with that thing.
Wanted to start CCXT's KS3 fund. It's a start.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this 49,800 buck unit, I don't know. I can't spend that much money on an ASIC. That's crazy. Like, you buy a car with that, man. That's a down payment on a house. Like, what? I don't know. Like, it'd be cool if it actually held the profitability that it could. You know, it was like 3 to 4K this thing could make a month, but the odds of that actually holding that profitability are slim to none. Slim to none. Shipping date August, September. So look at this. You just see that? I didn't even notice that. August to September is the shipping date. So Caspa is probably going to do great up until that point, and they're probably pre-mining on a bunch of these, making a shit ton of money right now, doing their burn test, right, to make sure these things are good. And then once they're done, you know, they're working on the next thing, and they're shipping these out to you at $49,800. It's insane. I don't know. It's just too much money for me. Anyways, guys, love you all. You're all awesome. Hopefully, I will see you guys later on today around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:15-ish, depending on when the wife gets out of work and when we can get the kids down. But either way, we'll be live today. I will post it in a little bit. So hopefully you guys have a happy Friday, happy payday, and I'll see you guys this afternoon. Peace out.